What's going on, everybody? I'm Squidbro Joe here with Mr. Pixels, DeFi Sean, and welcome to Moon Monday. Guys, if you're new, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, comment down below if you're watching this afterwards on YouTube. If you're checking this out on Twitter, just hit the follow button. Real easy, real simple. And for you on Twitch, make sure to hit the follow button as well.
What is up, everybody? I hope everyone had an awesome weekend. I see we're starting as we mean to go on late. Yeah, nice. But yeah, it's been good, man. It's been very little sleep. I would say in the last, honestly, my honest assessment in the last, I would say 48 plus hours, I've had about 3 hours sleep. So that's been my weekend pretty much. How about you boys?
Yeah, it's like I said, I unfortunately had the stomach bug going through our whole house this weekend. So everybody pretty much had a better weekend than what I had for sure. And yeah, people definitely can get that smoke break when Joe's joining the show.
That's what I do. See, I care about the smokers. That's why I got you guys. You guys think
it's all part of the plan.
Yeah, you're not gonna be at 5, just around 5.
Yeah, if we're starting on time, we're not starting on time.
Yeah, and this is Monday. This is Moon Monday. So it's expected that it's got to be a little more lax, you know.
Yeah, Moon Monday is designed exactly to be very laid back. It's more of just a hangout. In Infineon, we try to be a little bit more professional and give the big updates and all that stuff. To where Moon Monday, again, it was born out of a token launcher idea, so it's meant to just be fun.
Yeah, and this is going to turn into a whole other beast here once, Solana and LunarPump launches, and, we'll be having, projects on, communities on, like whatever it is. Like, this is kind of the idea. This is what this will be, like a similar equivalent to what like LunarPump Radio. Not that hardcore, but like definitely have the odd guest on from projects that launch on LunarPump, things like that. Happy Moon Monday, Crypto Night, sir. Thank you for tuning in all the way over there in Twitch land. I think maybe you might be the only person over there in Twitch land at the moment, but appreciate that. Shout out to everybody too, though, on X, YouTube, Twitch, tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Speaking of being late and talking about LunarPump, where are we at, Sean?
Yeah, so let's just hop right into it. We obviously give all the updates. So the most recent development, which is actually something that happened last week, I think it was Matt. So we were going through final everything. Mods tested it for us. Again, shout out to Sharky, absolute beast. Dude finds everything wrong. We found a little small issue with the ICO that wasn't exactly how we wanted it. The way the tokens were distributed weren't 100% evenly fair like it was supposed to be. Matt can probably give you the updates if he was here on exactly what it was doing. But beside the point on that, we had to make some small fixes. With those small fixes came some alterations to some other things, which required us to do a whole nother round of testing. It looks like we spent like the past 3 or 4 days completely testing it, putting it through the ringer. We found everything we had to find. It looks like all the bugs and everything will be completed by tomorrow at the latest, which means we'll switch over to mainnet. Now, I am already in touch with Phantom. Unfortunately, they will not give us the verification until it's fully on mainnet, but they are aware of what we're doing. They've seen the code. I've sent them everything they've had to see. They just have to wait for us to actually switch over to mainnet. Once that happens, we get the Phantom verification, and then we are off to the races. So again, I know I say this every week, but it really is right around the corner. And unfortunately, like we said, with this platform, it had to be built from scratch. It wasn't like how the EVM side was of where we're just adding a chain. With Solana, it's completely different code, or I don't even know if they refer to it as code on the Solana side, but it's just completely different. Had to be built from scratch. Of course, unfortunately, it's taken longer than we thought. EVM seems to come together a lot quicker and a lot smoother than the Sol side, but it's right there. We're going to be on Solana. We're going to be where the most transactions are. Again, I know we've already got some ideas for people. They're going to be launching tokens. Hopefully, we'll start off with some $1 million runners and different things like that. But yeah, we really are about to be rocking and rolling, and then really start, amping up the exposure of Infineon. Start getting everything out there about us as a whole.
Yeah, we were just talking there before the show, and we're like, man, because this is the reality of what happens in Devland. Like, we're the same. We're developing all the back end. Myself and Adam, I'm working on actually a new UI as well, a more intuitive UI. I was giving Sean a quick look at it there beforehand for the social swarm stuff, but that's just the way it goes when you're developing stuff. You cannot predict, and that's why Sean always says I hate giving a deadline in crypto, because something pops up then and it could potentially set you back a week, and you might have seen it coming. So it's so hard to do that, but you're also at the same time it's bittersweet, because you're like, thank God we found that, you know what I mean? But at the same time, then you got to be like, shit, no, it's going to set us back, but it's like it's a necessary evil that we got to deal with. And again, that brings us into like, hey, you got the conviction, you got to hang in there and like, trust that it's getting done, and it is. And again, yeah, also Sean, to echo that sentiment, shout out to Sharky, crushing it behind the scenes there, testing like a madman. Very, very vital that gets done. So again, like as bittersweet as it is, I'm glad that these things are getting found, and that when the launch does come, that it's going to be like rock solid. You only get one chance to make a first impression with a lot of people, so you want to make sure that's good. And sometimes people could find the smallest little thing, and then they're like, whatever, go back to wherever the fuck it came from, Sun Pump or Pump Fun or fucking Let's Bonk or whatever. One of the, how many chains did we say are token launchers around Solana right now? That we were, I think we were saying last week, Sean, but yeah, I think you were saying to me how many are on there, and we both thought like,
I think there's like 40. I think there's like 43. But yeah, when I heard that number, I was like, I thought there were hundreds of.
I would have thought the same, to be honest, man. 43, like that's nothing.
Oh man, sorry, I had to laugh. I'm going to share my screen on what I was laughing at.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, again, the competition. Yeah, 43 is a lot. But there's 20. Let's just say like there's tens of millions of transactions per day on that chain.
Like I was saying, look at blockchains. Like there's probably more blockchains, and there is token launchers on Solana. So
like thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands more. There's so many blockchains that I've tried. Can you guys see them?
Oh yeah.
So this is, I don't know who did that. Someone, because we're still, again, that's all the testing. And all this stuff that you see right here will be completely reset before it goes to mainnet. This is just whoever's one of the testers.
That's hilarious.
That's actually a good one. Who did Mike? Was that Mike? Mike, was this you? Who did that?
Show yourself. It is good though. Very funny, man. I like that.
So it's really cool. So like when you come to the ICO, it's just cool. The way it's set up and the way it shows everything that everyone's distributed. Like again, this is honestly a game changer, guys. Like allowing this ICO again, it's what's going to separate us from everyone else, and actually allowing people to have fair launches. Because again, it's not just our communities, it's everyone. I mean, I've said this more times than I can count, but over the years with Crypto on Calls, we've been in our private groups, even opening up voice chats, hanging out, waiting for a big token launch, getting all excited, Joe. I mean, how many times have we been there? And effing snipers come in, destroy us. You're pissed. I'm pissed. The community's pissed. And those days are over thanks to Lunar Pump. Those days are over. Now, of course, the option's there. If people that want to be a part of dev launches and they want that 2,000 market cap entry, you can do it. But yeah, this ICO.
And you want to guarantee a chart that looks like that. There you go. Or almost guarantee. That's
Mike. I know that's Mike that launched that.
Oh yeah, that ice cream looks very European.
So yeah, like I said, guys, we really are in the final steps. I know I said that last week. So we found that hiccup, which good thing, because we've been promoting the ICO a particular way. So the fact that it wasn't 100% how we wanted it, it was an important thing to find.
No, Mike, you can't join. No, come on. Next Moon Monday, Mike. Come on, you gotta pop in. You've been absent. You too, Matt. Gotta pop in. We gotta hear from you boys. Matt's laying on the DL right now with the Solana launch delayed.
So as far as the approach goes, once the phantom verification happens, because when we're on mainnet, we're not going to be on our domain when we first switch over to mainnet. Once we get everything verified, we'll switch over to the LunarPumpFun domain, and from that point on, we're gonna roll. We are going to plan out it's mainly going to start on Twitter with all of our ad funds set up. I know Adam, he's been working on that a lot, getting that ready. Of course, with our tweet generator, comment generator, we're going to be We're going to be pushing it everywhere. And that's kind of where we're going to start. I know there's some people looking to launch some tokens that we're definitely ICOs that we're definitely going to get behind. And because of this structure, and again, because of the way that you keep the sniper bots and everything out of it, and you keep the supply and the people of the hands that want to be successful, the people like the Infineon community and things like that, I really honestly think we can have some really good runners off of it, which, we've talked to multiple different people, I don't know if you guys know who Coco is. He built, I believe, the token builder on 8chain. And we've talked to a lot of different people that have had some successful token launches. And that's the biggest form of success, is having runners come off of that platform. That's what we're told over and over again. You got to get some runners coming off the platform. So that's our goal. And
Makes sense.
everyone will see that LPF or the Lunar. I forget. I don't know if we announced that yet, but I think it's going to have to be LPF on the end of the contract instead of Lunar. So whenever it's set up to collect contract addresses, whenever they come up and collect them and store them from when people launch on the website, it couldn't collect Lunar, not even close to fast enough. I think the program ran for like 12 hours and didn't collect one of them. With LPF, it ran for 12 hours and it collected hundreds and hundreds of them. So we're probably going to have to go that route, unfortunately, because we're not going to be able to collect enough addresses for everyone to launch with the Lunar at the end. But, LPF is good too, because you're going to see those runners. You're going to see LPF. Hopefully it'll become more of a standard thing to see, like everyone sees Pump at the end of it. You'll see LPF. And and hopefully that'll help get us some recognition too.
There's Josh talking about the marketing rollout. I'd like to see scorched earth. I mean, that's good, but there's also because I know I was talking to Sean about this too, and maybe you can give me your thoughts, Joe. But when it comes to the marketing, especially when it's a new product or a new thing like that, I feel like you always want to do a soft rollout initially, because if you come across an issue when it's live on mainnet, and you have everything barreling in your marketing, and you're bringing people in their hundreds to the platform, and then you have this issue, and then you got to go down, that's not a good look, or you got to this bug is causing something, or it's offline, and you're marketing to loads of people, and then they come to the site and it's down for some reason, because the marketing push was too hard too early, and everything wasn't ironed out and it wasn't tested to a capacity level. Because you're always talking about load as well, when you're dealing with that. So, I mean, in my opinion, it's always better to do a soft launch with the marketing and slowly roll it up to that level. Once you're all right, this platform is good, let's fire, but it's good to send a few warning shots first, just to make sure that the actual software and product itself is not going to take a shit on you or anything when you're. And especially, obviously, all this marketing costs money too, right? And it means you got to create content, you got to do this. So you don't want to expend any ammunition that isn't entirely necessary, if it's too risky, you know what I mean? So as kind of a steady strategic rollout, I feel is probably the best way to go. What do you boys think?
Yeah, it'll definitely start off with just us. When we first switch over to mainnet and we start promoting it, it'll obviously be our core community that'll be there first. So any good ICOs that launch, it'll be our community. And then, we'll go over to Radium and we push it just like anything else. And yes, we do plan it not from day one. Again, unfortunately, we're not someone, we didn't even raise $1 million, more or less hundreds of millions of dollars. So we can't do everything at once. But yes, we have been in touch with Liam and got everything set up as far as pricing and everything goes to have the Web3. So it would definitely start with the Web3 for the token launcher, not Web2. So it's not going to be like Instagram or Meta ads, at least not at first. It'll be like Dex tools and all your Web3 services will be where it'll be when we're using services from CoinPresso. But yes, that's definitely on the wish list of things we need to do. And then hopefully, if we're successful and revenue is coming in, that'll be when we can even lead into your Web2 ads and different things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We got those credits racked up. What do you think, Joe? How are you feeling about everything? Give us your mood, sir. Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, once the ball starts rolling, it's gonna get bigger and bigger. We're gonna add more and more to it. I mean, already coming out with the ICO is gonna be massive, but doing more and more and adding to it. Is all what we've been doing since we first rolled out LunarPump.Fun. You know, since we first said, hey, Infineon holders, we're working on LunarPump. Like every time we get a chance to, we're just adding more and growing it. This was a little bit of a longer of a stretch than we normally do and normally would like. And that's because we're creating brand new technology that isn't available really anywhere else. I mean, who's doing a pump fun platform that has, I almost like whitelist spots, but even better because everyone buys in out the gate at the same time. Like, who has that technology? Nobody, not even close. And we are rolling that out. So obviously, it's not that we can tell everybody in one shot. We'd like to. We're going to be trying to tell as many people as the days go on. We're going to spread the message to more and more and more and more people. There's just not enough of us to tell everybody today. It's going to take time of us getting out and reaching out to everybody and letting them understand that this technology now exists. That's a huge thing. We have proof of it. I mean, so we can show the website and go, hey, look, proof of function. Now you know it exists. But it's something that we got to tell a lot of people. So this is going to be something that as time goes on, more and more people are going to understand what we're doing and what we're working on. And more people more than likely will join us. So that's been the goal for us. Like I said, we wish we could tell everybody, but it's something we physically don't have enough time to do. Especially like day one, week one. I mean, there is a ton of people in DeFi, in crypto, and we want to reach out to as many of them as possible. So once again, I understand. I wish we could get a button, everyone gets notified, but unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. A lot of people need to know what ICO is. Someone might not know. Some might even not know what any of this stuff is, and we have to show them. Those that are on a Pump.Fun platform need to understand what we're doing, so they could go, "Oh my God, this is like." It's kind of like asking would you want a rotary phone or would you want an iPhone? Because the iPhone's newer, iPhone does more, rotary phone's old. But if you're on Pump.Fun, you're using that rotary phone. And we have an iPhone that we're building, basically. That's what we're working on. That's the difference of technology. So once again, it's not going to happen today, but as time goes on, we're looking to definitely get the word out to as many people as possible.
Yeah, I'm sure lots of people are just, kind of, you also want those, like, Sean was saying earlier, you want those good look stories, those positive stories. Like, they have massive impact. And word of mouth in this space spreads really quickly. So, if alarm bells ring that, hey, there's a lot of success stories coming out of X, then, people will swarm to it and they'll check it out and they'll try it out. And, if that's where the people are at, if that's where they're getting the best value, if that's where, they're getting the volume, the support, whatever it is that they're after, the more of it we can offer, the better. But, people are willing to do that. People are willing to take the leap, as we've seen with the Bonk Fun Pump Fun rivalry lately. So we can see it's there. So we just got to deliver, and we will, I think. There's Josh.
Yeah, Cookie.Fun. Yeah, it should be this week that they're supposed to be unveiling to us how it would operate for that free listing. So yeah, 100%. Again, mindshare sites, as we stated, are very important to us, as that seems to be where a lot of people are. Also, too, I want to answer this. So MEXC right now, centralized exchange listings are not even close to being top priority. Top priority is getting revenue generated with systems like LunarPump. For reference, an MEXC listing, which would give you almost no return on your investment, we can do with CoinPresso. Take that for example. We can run all of our Twitter. We can run the Web3 ads for 30 days. We can run the Web2 ads for 30 days and still be cheaper than what an MEXC listing would cost. Like an MEXC listing right now and spending funds on that would be a completely waste of funds. It would give us zero returns. And if we're lucky, you'd be looking at a 20-30% pump on the native token and probably crash right back down. So yeah, that's definitely not our focus. Our focus is on building the token launcher and the blockchain, and then the centralized exchange listings and stuff like that will come.
Yep, all in good time. Yeah, and speaking of, generating revenue, again, this is a product that's going to be rolling out here very soon. So, Social Swarm, born from a solution that we needed to build for Infineon, turn product turn revenue stream for Infineon as well. So like I said earlier, Adam's been doing a ton of work on the back end, building that out, making sure all the deployments and stuff are working. And I've been cranking out with very minimal amount of sleep here and maximum amount of coffee, hardcore on the UI, trying to get all that sorted on the front end. Obviously, you know, when you go to these kinds of AI sites, there's a certain way that you want them to look, to feel, to flow, to operate. So just trying to really hone in on that so that the product that we do launch is going to like tick all those boxes that we need it to tick. Anybody that's not familiar, this is a post generator. We also have a comment. We'll have a comment generator that can, you know, just go and make the reply a cohesive response to any, you know, post, ex-post or tweet that would also then upsell whatever it is that our product is, or the, you know, the person's product is, or what project, whatever it is, and it makes that reply for you. And then we got the, you know, the PFP generator. There's a whole package. There's a couple of other things, features that we have that we're adding to this that are going to be like, in my opinion, I hate saying the word game changer because, you know, we hear that all too often, but I feel like it's going, these features that we've added to this thing, along with the new tones, this and that, I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great product to deliver. I don't see anything in the market like it right now. So I'm hoping, as far as this goes, like, I know there are other AIs out there that do similar things, but what we're actually doing and the all-encompassing product itself with all the features on it, I don't see anywhere or even close. And given, you know, the network that we have, the connections that we have, you know, running good, strong referral stuff and promotion through this is going to be massive. It's going to be massive for another awesome revenue stream for Infineon. You know, another awesome feature and utility tool to have as part of LunarPumpFun to help us achieve that success metric that we're trying to get. So just yeah, it's just another thing that's coming pretty close here. So yeah, Lunar Pump is cooking. This is cooking. So excited for it all. Wait till you see what we got rolling out here. I cannot wait. I know we've been saying that too. And again, that's why I'm echoing those sentiments, because, you know, I feel the pain of the developers too, right? Because, you know, sometimes you can just come, even building out this UI, sometimes you can change something, or, you know, do a logout login function, and it could change a whole lot of things on the back end, and you got to go figure it out. And, you know, so it's just, it can get messy, but, you know, the progress is good. It's solid. Things are looking great. Infineon Ent. Oh, you just got it there, Amy. You're still looking.
Yeah, I was popping it up for you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we still. Yes. That is definitely something that's on the cards, and we actually already have a prototype starting, you know, build of that we had been working on. So yeah, as soon as the post generator and stuff pop out here through Social Swarm, and that's Social Swarm AI on X as well. If you want to go and follow that account, please do. We're going to start, you know, rolling out some stuff from that too soon once we do get launched. But yeah, that website builder will also definitely be another tool, and you can see how, like, adding all these things, turning it into like this kind of one-stop shop with all these other kind of slightly external third-party apps that we can lock in there, given what we're building. And the beauty of it, like, it's all coming out of necessity. Like, these things are being built because we see a gap in the market or something that could help not just our own metric, but actually, you know, a community succeed, and not at this crazy, ridiculous price point, or where they're going to get gouged. And then you offer the fact that, you know, also interacting with all of these new, like, solution softwares that we're building, hey, it also generates back into the ecosystem, into Infineon, into, you know, Lunar Pump, and how all that, you know, that entire ecosystem actually works. And so, you know, having that and sending it all back in, you know, to me, I think that is awesome. Again, like I always say, that's one of the main things, the reasons that I always love getting involved with Infineon, and the fact that Lunar Pump is doing that, and the more stuff that we can generate that will always cycle this stuff back into the ecosystem. I mean, to me, like, that's the people's chain right now. For people that aren't too sure exactly about the ecosystem, how that all works, check this out. All right, you got all that? Good. So yeah, if you go to the website, or if you go to the that was just obviously a funky advert that we did for to show like how all those transactions benefit the economy, the whole ecosystem itself, with the tree token set up, how that all works. But if you go to the whitepaper.infineon.com, you can go to that. You can actually see the whole engine just looping over and over again, and kind of get more of an explanation into exactly how that whole system works. But just to touch on that, that's how all these products operate. That's how everything operates within this entire system. Lunar Pump is the flagship product. Then obviously we got all those other revenue streams. There's going to be, the social media app. There's going to be, you got the wallet running, anything and everything that we're always developing. We're always looking at ways, right? How do we bring this back in to benefit the community? How do we make everything stronger? How, whatever we build, we want to utilize it to bolster and, empower and, strengthen everything that we do. So go check that out, Infineon, or whitepaper.infineon.com. I believe that's the link. And yeah, check it out, and you can see how that whole system works and everything like that. But yeah, I love it, man. I love it. And the closer we're getting to these products launching and stuff like that, and getting that ecosystem like turning over, bringing bodies in. Just imagine a lot of people on here using Lunar Pump. Infineon is starting to pick up all these projects, or all these products and softwares are starting to generate revenue. Dude, it'll be like something we've never seen before. I swear, it's going to be awesome. Because you talk about other chains and things like that, like you were saying, Sean, and which they are, of course, as you always say, Sean, they're entitled to do. But the money always goes back into just their coffers, into their pockets for the most part. Whereas this is the opposite. It's going like, it's all, pumping back into the NFTs or back into the development, the products, like everything like that. So I just can't wait for this little spark to like just ignite here, and the fucking powder keg to hit.
Yep. And I mean, sooner than later, it'll be a one-stop shop. You can launch your token. You can create a website. You can get your tweet generator. You can get your comment generator. You can hop on over to our social site. Like, it'll be a one-stop shop for basically everything. Again, another thing that we're offering that no one else is going to be offering. I know for a fact we're offering a superior product from what people want and what people need. We're offering it. Like I said, Les Blanc kind of came in and offered one level higher than what Fun was doing. I think we're going to be offering like multitude of levels higher by what we're incorporating. Not to mention the videos are going to be coming soon. You're going to be able to go on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick right off the bat. So that'll be something that's getting incorporated very soon into it. Probably, hopefully within a week or two after going live on mainnet. So again, looking forward to that. And it'll just be one more big time feature that no one else has. And I know, again, we apologize for the delays. I know people are getting a little impatient. Another thing too, I kind of want to put into perspective, when we first got started, the reason why we were rocking and rolling, at least from the community's perspective on releasing, going from testnet of the blockchain to mainnet of the blockchain to the DEX, and we seem to do everything very quickly. It's because we started everything prior to the presale when no one even knew that it was getting started. So basically, real time kind of caught up to us. So when we first announced everything and we announced that the blockchain was coming, it was essentially already done. So, we were able to do things according to what the public was seeing very, very quickly. And then, like I said, real time kind of caught up to us and we started developing it. When we started talking about LunarPumpFun Solana, that was when we actually first started building it. It wasn't already built like the blockchain was built. So that might seem why things are slowing down a little bit. That's why, because again, we're operating in real time now, compared to operating with stuff already being months into development before we even announced it when we first kickstarted everything. And I don't believe Les Blanc has the video feature. I'm almost positive they don't. I could be wrong, but I don't believe they do.
They don't. They're not at that level.
And yes, I would love to kick Apple in the nuts. Apple. I love Apple. I have Apple everything. iPads, iPhones, Macs, desktop, everything that you're seeing me on is always Apple. But man, when it comes to launching stuff with them, they are the biggest sticklers. Like I said, we're gonna get it done. But I was even telling Mr. Pixels before we got going, the reason why my podcast came out so late today, it's usually early Mondays. It was actually a little bit later, because sometimes when you go post your podcast to the Apple platform, sometimes if for whatever reason, it'll take hours and hours to upload and to actually go live on the platform. Even after uploaded and you hit publish, sometimes it'll still take hours, to where Spotify will be done literally within like a couple of minutes of hitting live. Like Apple is just, they just verify everything. I I mean, I guess you can say it's a good thing, but that's why everything seems to come so much slower when we're dealing with Apple as opposed to Spotify or opposed to Android and things like that.
Yeah, and for anybody that is not familiar, the Android wallet is up, running, flying, no problem. Again, just like Sean said, Apple, yes, and Salty Brian, yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I do have a little update on that though. So one of the reasons why they're giving us a tough time is because there's so many Web3 wallets on the platform now that they're saying we aren't unique enough to be approved. Basically, they're basically just saying we're like everyone else. So again, precedent doesn't matter to Apple. You can't say, oh well, you let the last one on, that doesn't matter. Again, precedent means nothing to Apple, because that was my first argument was, well, this is there, why can't we be there? That's not how Apple operates. Everything is considered like in its own little sandbox. So our app is being judged and viewed strictly by itself. It doesn't matter what Trust Wallet did, what SafePal, none of that matters. And they're viewing it as, when they look at the App Store, there's too many Web3 wallets and they want to see something that makes us different. I don't think we're ready to announce what we're building in to make it different, but we are making a couple of changes. It's like 2 changes we're making to it to kind of make it a unique code. And there actually going to be some cool features, interactive features that are kind of getting added into the wallet. I'll talk with Matt, see if we could talk about it Friday. But that's the biggest holdup right now on what's slowing things down with Apple.
So you're saying that, like, basically what needs to be done here now, just so I understand, I make sure I understand this correctly, is we got to add these new extra unique features that set us apart from the rest.
To make it stand, exactly, to make it different. Because we've said from the beginning, the Apple Wallet was never meant to be a groundbreaking. Everything we've done, from the blockchain to the token, we've always tried to amp it up, try to make it something different and try to make it something better. The wallet was strictly always meant to be an easy way to access the blockchain. So with that being in mind, it actually is what's stopping us from getting on Apple, because they're considering us too much like Trust Wallet and SafePal and all the rest of them. And again, it doesn't matter that those wallets are there already, not how Apple operates. All that matters is that that's what they're categorizing us as. And again, we can't say, well, Phantom got on there when Trust Wallet and SafePal was on there already. That again, irrelevant to how Apple operates.
You got to stand on your own merits, I guess.
Yep.
And that's the thing, and that's the thing. I mean, I'm waiting for it too. As soon as I get it, I'm gonna just have my Infineon wallet with everything to do, like all my LunarPump stuff. Like, that's why I'm kind of excited to do it. But for now, if anybody does want to go and check it out, download the wallet and thing, have a quick look at this, and it's available right now on the Android store. And it looks great, super smooth, super everything. I know that was a real recording from Sean's phone. What are you, Joe? Are you Apple? And you're Apple, right?
Oh man, I love Apple. You know what it is? It's the minute you buy all the stuff, it all like integrates together. Like, you have the iPad, your iPhone. Take a picture of your iPhone, in 2 seconds you can move to your iPad, and it's bigger. You can edit on it. I have my Apple Pencil over here. Like, I love Apple. I used to be like anti-Apple. Yeah, I used to be anti-Apple, and then I got a phone, and I'm like, whatever. These stupid phones. And then I got an iPad. I'm like, oh, this is really. And then I got a MacBook, and I'm like, oh my god, it all just works so good. It's and then when it comes to editing videos, I haven't edited. I really haven't had time to really start sit down and really edit a big video. But when you edit a big video and you do it on a Mac, it's just super. I used to use Sony Vegas. I used to use all the other stuff, but Final Cut is insanely good to use.
Nice. All you need now is the wallet, dude, to Infineon Apple Wallet to just
that's it.
Seal the deal here. I can feel it. It's coming.
And I will say, like, all these things happening. I know once again, like we talked about before, it takes time, and obviously we're in the world, especially in DeFi, where a day in the real world is like a nanosecond in DeFi, and everybody wants things as soon as possible. Just know we want things as fast as possible too, and we're working on getting it out as fast as possible. For every time you guys go to us and go, hey, when's the wallet done? We sent like 20 emails to Apple going, hey, what do we need to get this wallet done? Every time you said, hey, when's the new technology out as far as Lunar Pump, we went to our people and we're like, hey, when can we have this finally done? Or when can we get to the next step in order to get this done so we can bring it to you guys, to everybody out there? It's just a matter of getting it done properly. It's a matter of rolling everything out, and of course it's a matter of doing it all efficiency. We don't want to take things back after we release them just to go fix them. We want it out there, and you use it and you go, hey, there's no problems day one, and that's the way we like it. Infinite Air has a question though. He says, any slips of the tongue on that company looking to launch with us?
I'm not understanding what he's asking.
I think you mentioned on Friday maybe about there was some like big group or
no. So yeah, for clarification, they're not launching on Infineon. It's another chain. Right? Yeah. Our Lunar Pump. Yeah, it was an example. I forgot what context I was saying it in, but it was just it was about companies coming. So big companies coming to Web3 is what I was talking about. But yeah, they're not launching. With us now, we do kind of have some connections to it. So if we were a little bit newer or not fresher, if we were a little bit more established, I guess you can say, it would have been possible. That's another thing, is that we need people using the platform, because big time companies, even with a token launcher, they're going to want to see it working before they get on. It's kind of like that thing where when you're 16 or 18 years old and you're trying to go get a job, no one will hire you because you have experience. Well, how are you going to get experience if no one wants to hire you? It's kind of like no different here. You have to get some usage on the platform, and you have to get some people using it, but no one wants to use it because it's no one's currently. It's just it's
you got to build that brand trust, right? That's and that can only be done through like people using it, word of mouth, like we talked about earlier. And just remember too, to touch on Joe's point, any time we're coming out here to deliver news of potential delay or a rollout, just remember we were crying in the background before we came out to have to actually do that. So it always hits everybody like here hardest first, and it's like because then you got to go and you got to deliver the news, right? So it's like salt in the wound when you got to do that too, right? Because, obviously the three of us here, we're not specifically developing that in, but we understand that, like, yes, and everybody wants it out yesterday. And as Sean has mentioned, a lot of the time in this space, not all, but developers a lot in this space are big overachievers, and they can say and set specific deadlines sometimes. And not saying that's the case right now, because it was, sometimes things just pop up too that need to be addressed, like what happened this time. But, they're overachievers, and they can say like, give a rough time frame when, you might end up having to tack on another month or two to that in reality by the time it rolls around. You know what I mean? So that can happen too. So it's just kind of, you just got to roll with the punches and learn about it. But and again, that's why I always talk about, well, look, just check the track record, check what's been delivered, check what's done. And then if you have any issues, like, well, look, I know they're going to do it because I've seen all the other shit they've already done. Like, they're not bluffing us now all of a sudden, you know what I mean? So it's like, especially when you're talking about the flagship product here, nobody wants it out, as we always say, more than all of us. And obviously the diehards, the community that are been here since the jump, everybody wants this thing out yesterday. But it's getting there, and I would much rather that it was picked apart and however long that took to make sure that the product that actually launches, yes, while it might be, you know, closer to an MVP initially, we want it to be like on point, no lags, no breakdowns, no glitches, you know, as minimal bugs as possible, so that we can get those good look stories that we need. We don't want the stories coming out being, oh, it had a bug when I was trying to do this and something happened and I got screwed, or my community got something, you know, the wallets got messed up, or like whatever the thing could be, right? We certainly don't want any of those stories coming out. So that's why it's important right now to be like, you know, as much as you're biting your fist, you just got to be like, yeah, well, look, this is part of the game. And you know, during this downtime, also, it's funny, you know, because all this marketing's been going on, but we also, you know, we came and we've pretty much created and we're about to launch a new Infineon product as well in the downtime. So like, you motherfuckers are spoiled. I have to, I have to say. I know I say it a lot, but you know, and this is going to be a pretty big product. Once you see when this thing rolls out, like, it's going to be pretty big. So, you know, stay tuned for that. It's a pretty big thing to kind of just say, like, yeah, let's just build this and see what happens. But it's turned into a bit of a beast here. I did have someone pop up there a minute ago, Sean, asking, there's only a few hundred holders of Infineon on salts and it was deployed. Any reasons?
Yeah, I mean, we don't make it a habit too much to talk about charts and holders, but I mean, I couldn't tell you. I mean, the vast majority of people just hold on the EVM side. Why more people aren't using or utilizing the SOL side? I mean, we'd have to ask them. But yeah, out of our 3,000 plus holders, the vast majority of them are on the EVM side. Also, the LP pools are also thicker and bigger on the EVM side, so that can play a part in it too.
Yeah, and the SOL LP pool has only been live for not even close to as long as the other side, you know. So obviously there's going to, and plus the marketing again has just been kind of, you know, trickling at the moment. So like when that kind of comes and more people come in, I'm sure you'll see that skyrocket. I could see that metric flipping on its head at some point, you know, in the future here. Like once that all gets locked in. Let me see what else we got here. Let's pump some projects that I know. I know of a few. Infineon, Tim, you do? All right. I didn't know you were involved in any projects. All right. Yes, go. Check out LunarPump.fun. See what's on there. Infineon, Tim, one of the loyal supporters here, is going to be launching as well once the ICO goes live, one of the early launches. Shout out to you, sir. What are the benefits of the recent partnerships that have been announced? That's more of an Adam question. I know he deals with a lot of those partnerships in the background, but I'll just give you a quick little overview as to what you could expect from some of those. And again, sometimes the partnerships don't always yield the best fruit, but sometimes they yield some great fruit, and you get one or two of those, and it's great. But like for example, what we're talking about right now, these products and these partnerships, and you see a lot of AI development and stuff going on. Well, what we do is we look at ways that we can obviously cross-pollinate with their communities, right? Offer things to them, and during those negotiations, because you'll end up in a back room with these other companies and stuff, and you kind of get on calls and you'll talk about what they do, what we do, what we're offering, and then you'll look to these partnerships and see where any of these opportunities might actually arise, and how you could potentially take what we have and offer some kind of an opportunity for you, for your community, for your business. Even sometimes it might just be a back-end thing where a specific piece of software might be like, oh, this would actually work really well integrated with this that we have, right? And again, like it's cross-pollination on communities. And, let's say when we launch LunarPump, right, we can reach out to these people and say, hey, anybody launching, here's a special referral code, a promo code, whatever that we can offer specifically for your community. They can do something back to us, and it just bolsters those relationships, and that cross-pollination builds things. And sometimes you might end up going a little deeper with some partners depending on how kind of the relationship plays out. And sometimes you might end up with a partnership where nothing comes of it, right? It might just be a couple of spaces together, and the little bit of cross-pollination, and that might be it. So it kind of all really depends on who they are, what they're offering, because this is one of the things that Growthy do as well. Like, they help and they assist us with these partnerships in the hope that like more exposure comes, more growth comes, and these connections are made. You're networking, right? Your network grows, builds, And that's the main thing. And it's kind of up to you really to kind of navigate and see where the opportunities are in your regard, but they get served up to us, and it's up to us then to kind of utilize them as much as we can, and on them too, of course. Like the other potential partner will do the same, right, if they're smart. Yes, we're
yep. And real quick too, and just another thing too is that just another community just seeing our name is a good thing too. Just at the very least, if all they do is see the word Infineon, and then they hop on Twitter in a couple of days and they see LunarPump being promoted by Infineon, you want the name out there as much as possible. So that's just another good thing about it, regardless if nothing actually comes from the partnership.
Yeah, exactly. It's all brand recognition, all that kind of stuff, networking, growing, cross-pollination. You know the drill. You like being spoiled. I know, dude. It's nice. It's nice being spoiled. We're a bunch of entitled pricks. Win. See, that's the sentiment. And listen, once you kind of come to terms with that, it relaxes you a little more. So just relax. Don't worry about the chart, and just remember that you're spoiled rotten, and know that we ain't going nowhere. We're going to keep on delivering, keep on innovating as much as we can. I mean, as you've seen, anytime we come up against something, we're like, hey, how can we build something that could make this easier, or that could benefit the community, or could do this? All I could say is that the supply is starting to dwindle, going to make price very volatile. Yeah, sure, that happens. Chart's going to chart, guys. That's just the way charts go. It's the one thing, as we always say, we have absolutely no control over. But the thing is, the beautiful thing I like about where that is right now is the fact that all the diehards, they've been able to stack nice fat bags during this downtime. And they're the ones that, in my opinion, that deserve it most. The ones that have been out there following along, watching what we've been doing, showing up to the shows, grinding it in the trenches with us, the good times, the bad times. So, I'm so happy that those people have had this time to be able to strengthen their positions and get ready for like this big rollout that's coming. And anybody that's new, that's watching, hey, you're getting in at a really good price right now. Like whatever way the chart is looking, you see what we're doing, you see what we're building, you see what we've already delivered. You want to get in, you like what you see. We're offering loads of tools for you to be able to pump your own bag. Go pick up Infineon on SOL, Infineon on ETH, wherever you want to get it. And, come along for the, this journey that's, really only about to kick off once Solana kind of, hits the flagship product, LunarPumpFun, here very soon. So, it's a great time. I mean, I'm really happy with the chart, to be honest. I don't give a shit. I've made my conviction and I've made my decision a long time ago what I was going to do and how I was going to treat this. So, I hope you guys can see it and do the same.
And we're less than 2 million shy from 100 million staked. So it just goes to show you, that's almost, a quarter of the whole entire supply.
That is massive, dude. Like that staking is awesome, and that just shows you the level of conviction. And there's been a lot of power players that got in here early, and they just, they buy the bag, they understand the game, and they sit back and they watch, and that's the play, So kudos to you, only up, yes sir. Get a truckload, stock up now while you can. Not financial advice, of course, but DYOR, do your research. Look at what's been done here, guys. And, like I said, we're constantly showing up to show you how much we always show up. Moon Mondays today, Infineon Spaces tomorrow, Lunar Pump Radio, Papa Stonks Thursday, and Infineon Friday every Friday. And, as this rolls out as well, there's going to be more and more like impromptu stuff popping up. You got Krypton Calls, you got Squid Rose Joe's channel. There's tons of content out there. You got the white paper, you got the website, you can join us on Telegram. Like, we're totally accessible as much as possible. So, hopefully that eases any potential investments anyone might make. 100% transparent. Like I said, we'll come out here and we'll take the hit. If we got to deliver some bad news or something got delayed, we'll just have our cry about it before we come out, and then we'll just say, all right, guys, here's the skinny. But we'll always be honest about it. I promise that. And that's the way it's always gone. And again, get out there, use the products that we got. If you are one of those people that's holding a bag, you are one of those people that has decided to get invested on us, whether it was now, whether it was pre-sale, before it, after it, doesn't matter. We're providing the tools. We're providing everything we possibly can to make sure that you guys can get out there and pump your own bags as much as the rest of us. So we're going to be doing everything we can on our end. We're going to provide as many tools as we can to make it as easy as possible for you guys to be able to do it on your end too, when you are involved with us, when you do want to take that leap of faith and go balls out in Infineon and pick up some merch. You know, that's your public billboard, your in real life billboard, as I always say. So it's a good one. You can see Joe looking super sexy down there with his Infineon hat and his t-shirt, and I'm rocking my one right here. I think Sean has been put to shame today. I'm not sure if he's got any Infineon gear on. You got Infineon gear on today, Sean?
I don't. I'm gonna have to start wearing my shirt. We'll come live.
But yeah, I mean, where are we at now? I think we're hitting the 3 o'clock mark. It's probably time for me to shut up and stop, like, you know, filling up the airways with BS. But I'm just trying to keep it real here for whoever's jumping in, and just, you know, I always like to try and give my own little perspective and all this. When is the LunarPumpFun SOL launch party?
Heck yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing that for sure.
Just send us the address wherever your house is, Infineon Ant, and we will be there. Is it BYOB or whatever? You just let us know.
Yeah, we'll definitely be having some parties.
All right, I think that could be it for today, gents. Unless anybody has any more questions on there, I haven't.
No, I think we got them all answered. And yeah, hopefully we'll have something here very shortly. Hopefully that phantom verification. Hopefully everything very, very shortly.
Yeah, we got 110 live listeners now. Shout out to all you guys across between YouTube, X, and Twitch. They're all the places we're live streaming. Shout out to everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you just got in, go give it a quick rewind to get any updates. We're still all crying. We're waiting for Solana to come, but we found a big issue and it's getting fixed. It's added a few days, but, you know, fuck it. That's the way it goes. We got to just suck it up and keep moving on, guys. We all know we're big boys and girls. We can take it. We can understand. We can cry, but we can also take it. So
absolutely, guys. We'll see you guys this Friday for our next live stream. We have a bunch of events going on, by the way, on the bottom over here. Check them out if you want to check them out throughout the week. But this Friday, we also have Infineon Friday going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then make sure to definitely check in and check it out. I'm Scriptgrow Joe, DeFi Sean, and Mr. Pixels, and we'll see you guys on the moon. Have a good one, everybody.